Hi everyone, this is Ginger with Gingerberry Creek, and today's tutorial is going to be the running stitch on your items for your primitive dolls. So you'll need to have your pattern because you'll need to follow the instructions there. Your pattern pieces will show you, the running stitch, where to place it. So will the written instructions. So today I'm working on this little guy here. So I have to stitch do the running stitch on these pieces, and as you can see, I have already stitched this one. This is what the back looks like. There's my sewn slit, and then I've done the running stitch around for a nice primitive look. So I thought I would show you how to do that on this piece, which is the mustache. Here's the back side. So what you'll need is you're going to need to have your DMC thread, which it'll tell you how many strands to use, and your needle, and then obviously you'll probably need a pair of scissors. So I've already threaded this needle with my 2 strands of DMC thread in the black, and like I said, the pattern will tell you how many strands and what color to use and stuff. So anyway, let's get started. So on this piece, the pattern tells you to do a running stitch around the edge approximately a 1/4 inch from this side seam, or from this edge. So what you do is you come in from the back here where the sewn slit is. So I'm gonna insert my needle into the back here next to that, or right either above or below that slit, and then I'm going to turn it over and come out at the front here approximately a 1/4 inch from that edge, and I'm going to pull. I'm going to flip it back over because I want to make sure that I leave a long thread tail for knotting off later. So I'm going to leave that there. Now I'm going to start doing the running stitch. Now there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. You can insert the needle into the fabric like this, right? And then push the needle over and then push it over like that. So then it's looks like that. I have done it this way, and it works great, but sometimes you end up leaving bigger gaps between your stitches than what you really want. So the way I like to do my primitive dolls is I do it this other way. So I will go forward about a 1/4 inch here and insert my needle and push it straight through the fabric. Flip it over and then pull my thread. And then I hold on for a little bit to this long thread tail back here, because you don't want to pull it out. So I give the thread a good tug, and then I leave it on this side, and I go down about a 1/4 inch, flip it over, start again there, go down about a 1/4 inch, flip it over, make sure that I'm happy with the placement where my needle is coming out at. I'm happy with that placement, so I'm going to go ahead and pull that through. I'm going to watch this over here so that my thread doesn't get all tangled up, and kind of pull it tight again. Then I'm going to turn it back over, insert another 1/4 inch down, or over from this area, push mine, make sure here on the back side it's good. I'm gonna pull There's my first couple of stitches. Some of the items, you know, you'll need to make sure that they're nice and even on both sides, because you could view both sides depending on, you know, if it's angel wings or something else. This particular pattern, it's going to be glued up against the face, so you don't have to worry about the back side as much. But I like doing this technique this way because then I get you know, nice even stitches all the way around. So let's continue. I'm going to turn this back over so I can see where I'm going. I'm going to insert my needle. I'm going to flip it over, make sure I'm happy with the placement of that stitch, and then pull my thread. And here again, I'm going to come over, insert, flip over, and pull my thread. Like I said, on this particular one, I don't have to keep them as even on the back side because it's going to be hidden when I glue it. So I am not worrying as much for the back side of this as I am for the front. So I'm just going to keep going, you know, about a 1/4 inch forward on this, and then pulling. Sometimes your thread will knot up, you just pull that knot out. And as I go, I make sure I kind of pull that thread a little snug, but be careful because it will slowly pull this back and then you'll lose your long thread tail. So now I'm going to continue here. Now see, I came out and I'm way over there, so I'm going to pull my needle back and kind of readjust without pulling it completely out of the back. I'm just readjusting where I'm at. So now my needle's there. I'm happy with that because I'm more worried about the front of it. And here we go with another one. So it's starting to take shape. Here I am. I'm going to adjust my needle again there. And we're just going to go all the way around this item. We're going to do this running stitch all the way around, trying to be consistent from the edge and, you know, make all the stitches approximately the same size. If you get, you know, where it's not quite exactly the same, that's okay. It's supposed to look primitive and handmade, so that's all right. Don't worry about it. We're coming down to this curve, and I'll show you how we do the curves on the running stitch. This technique takes a little bit longer doing it this way instead of the other way, but I like the way that it ends up turning out. Alright, so I'm getting ready to come around this curve here. So I want to make sure that I do kind of like a stitch kind of here and then another one over here. So I'm going to pay more attention to where I'm coming out here at the front, because this is the front of my piece, and not so much the back. as that's going to be hidden. So yep, this will work. So now I'm going to take a smaller stitch here. You can see those, that's small there, but that's okay. I'm not worried about the back part. So there's my small stitch on the front, and now I'm gonna take another stitch here so that I can line up this other one where I want it to be at this curve, and there we go. And you can see that that makes the stitches slightly smaller on the back and they're closer together, but that's okay. So now we'll continue. Alright, so we're just about done here with this one. Just got the few more stitches, and then we're gonna finish up here and show you how you knot off and hide those thread tails on this as well. So I'm gonna finish up. Probably got about maybe 3 stitches left here. Now you don't have to, you can make these stitches smaller than the 1/4 inch if you want. Just depends on, you know, what kind of look you're going for. I don't want them too big, but I don't want them too small. I kind of like that they're about a 1/4 inch. So that's kind of where I try to keep it. But if you like it with the with them a little bit smaller stitches, then by all means make your stitches a little bit smaller there. I got me a knot in this, in my thing, my thread there. Try to get it out. There we go. Alright. So I think I got about 2 stitches left of where I want to finish up. So there we go. Make sure that looks good. Yeah. Then I want to go, I may take a little bit smaller space in between on this one just so that it'll line up like I want it to. Alright, so this is the last stitch on the front, and then I'll show you what we do with the back. So I'm going to take this last stitch. Alright, so there was my front. It's all finished, and now to finish up on the back here. So if it's one that it matters where you're going to be able to see both sides, then I would go ahead and take this other stitch like I'm going to show you. So here's where I'm at. I'm just going to take another stitch here off to the side, but I'm only pushing through 1 layer. I'm not coming through this other side. I'm staying underneath this back layer, and now I'm going to push my needle to have it come out right there next to my beginning thread tail. Alright, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to grab this needle and pull. So I took that stitch right there on the back, but then the thread is up underneath because you can see it did not come out on the other side. So now I'm going to clip these threads here. I'm going to knot this together. I always make a double knot just to make sure it's nice and secured. Alright, so my 2 knots. Then I'm going to grab another needle that I have off the side. I always like to kind of even up the ends of these threads here. Makes it easier for threading your needle if you have them kind of straightened up. Alright, so now I'm going to thread this onto my needle. There we go. So now it looks like that. And now I'm going to go back into right here where the knot is that I made, or the double knot. I'm going to push my needle in and make sure you don't come out the other side here. You don't want to catch, you know, and make a stitch in the middle of your item here. So I'm just under one layer of the fabric, and I'm going to push off to the side and then grab my needle and pull the thread. Pull that thread like that. So see, it's not on the front, it's just on the back side here. And so now I'm going to clip these threads. And you can see that little spot right there is where the knot is, and then the other threads are up underneath. And that's just so that the knot doesn't come unraveled. The threads are up under there. It'll all stay put. So this is how you do the running stitch for your pieces, or you know, the pieces like this mustache, and this is a hat trim. That is how you do these pieces and make that running stitch. Like I said, you can do it the first way, which is kind of the way a lot of people do it, but I find that if you do it the way I just showed you, you get better control over your stitches and the length of your stitches and the space in between, and I think that it ends up turning out a lot nicer. So thank you so much for watching and following, and stay tuned for more video tutorials by Gingerberry Creek. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.